It just felt great. It just was a great band to be in. It was a good time playing in that band.
When you played it,
we were doing a lot of songs that no one else was doing, but I don't think I ever thought, well, we're doing such a move on the other side compared to anyone else. We were just doing a lot of different stuff. And also they were writing then, and that was really freaky at those days,
Ringo sing the one I've written.
No, I can't quite remember it.
Well, but even so,
For the plug,
we've just Ringo has written one called
Don't Pass Me By, Don't Make Me Cry, Don't Make Me Blue. A beautiful melody. Sincere, though.
That is, yeah.
Don't Pass Me By, it's called.
Oh, that's what it's called.
Sincere.
Away on September the 4th, there was a new drummer, Ringo, and Pete Best was no longer with them.
We rehearsed for him first one day because he thought I was crazy and I couldn't play, because when we were doing Please Please Me, I was actually playing the kit, and in one hand I had the tambourine and in the other hand I had a maraca. So I was trying to do all the percussion and play the drums at the same time because we were just a four-piece band. George didn't actually say anything then.
Because George Martin didn't think that Ringo was particularly good. Ringo was and is a brilliant drummer, but that was his first time in a recording studio and he was trying to overcompensate. He was trying to do everything at once. And they thought he was mad.
Please Please Me originally was a kind of slow Roy Orbison type ballad, and very mournful, very dreary.
This is one John had just written, and it was kind of slow Roy Orbison kind of thing. Come on, dum dum, come on, please, please me. Big note at the end, just like Orbison.
And I told them it was no good. I said, if it's going to mean anything at all, if you double the speed, you might get somewhere with it. John took the lead.
It's me and Paul. How did you do what you do to me? I wish I knew, like that. Oh, wow. And that's around, man, and it's a straight, and it's a record, We wouldn't let him put it out, We said we shouldn't have no contract and all the tantrums bit, then put that crap out because it was rubbish, I mean, we thought it was rubbish compared with Love Me Do, you see. We thought ours had more meaning.
We hated it. We didn't want to do it. What had happened was we felt we were getting a style that was a Beatles style, and we were known for in Hamburg and Liverpool. But when we came down to London, we didn't want to blow it all by suddenly changing our style and sort of becoming a run-of-the-mill group, you know, and we felt that even though we knew that How Do You Do It was a number one, and George insisted it was, George Martin, but we wanted our own song. We said we've got to live or die with Love Me Do. We know it's not as catchy, but that's the way we've got to go, because we couldn't face the people back in Liverpool. Oh, bloody hell, I've heard that. How do you do it? You know, we were trying to keep the integrity. No, we're like a blues group, man. You know, hey, you know, we've got harmonica on our records, you know. So we didn't do it for that.
In fact, the Beatles recorded it first, and then Jerry and the Pacemaker, and I turned that down, and they turned me down at the same time. So they didn't want another
explain
song.
That. You didn't like what they'd done with it, is
That's
that
right, and I felt that they messed it up purposely.
I mean, the Love Me Do was such a saga because they had 3 recording sessions to get that record out. There was the one on June 6th, there was the one on September 4 when they did How Do You Do It and Love Me Do. Nothing from June 6 was considered worthy of issue, mostly because of the drumming. So at the end of September 4, they've got 2 tracks. One of them gets kicked off. So they've only got 1 track after 2 sessions. So then they come down again a week later and they have a pretty good session with Andy White. Actually, they do. In an hour and a half or an hour and 3/4, they do 3 tracks. And that's where they begin to find their feet in the studio.
On September 11th, we did another one in number 2 when we had a session drummer in place of Ringo, and Ringo played tambourine. But that was the start of it. That was the start of the Beatles.
Ringo has a grudge
Yeah.
against the recently departed George Martin. To this day, can't let it go that he was asked to sit on the sidelines while Andy White, Andy White, the session drummer, sits in.
Yeah.
And Ringo's never forgotten it and is mad about it.
No, I was devastated. I came down ready to roll, and we've got Andy White, the professional drummer.
Oh dear, that's awful.
But he's apologised several times since, as old George Martin. But it was devastating. And then...
Oh, Ringo to this day bears those scars. He says, you know, you didn't let me play, did you?
I spoke mostly with John and Paul because they were the writers, you know, and the other 2 guys were fine, you know, but they didn't have any written music. Nothing was written down. So you had to learn what the rhythm was, you know, and the routine. So it was really the 2 guys, John and Paul, that I worked with. Yeah.
Well, I mean, for the first time I heard it, here was the kind of stuff I was hoping to get from this group. The personality of the song itself came across to what I was feeling, you know, and especially after Trouble we'd had with Love Me Do anyway.
You know, so Andy wasn't doing anything so great.
In fact, the Love Me Do one was quite busy from a drumming point of view, because there were little gaps, you know, and they wanted a particular rhythm, and then the only trouble was they had Ringo playing tambourine quite a wee bit away, you know, and I don't think he played it all that great, so that was kind of not floundering, but it was, you know, more difficult than it should be. Yeah.
And then when they've got a record coming out and they're going to be signing their first publishing contract, they had a meeting in what was Brian Epstein's apartment or flat, really, in Faulkner Street in Liverpool, where John was living with his wife at that time, Cynthia. And John, Paul and Brian had a meeting to discuss this thing, because the Beatles have got a contract as a group, but now there's another contract that exists on the side, which is for two of them only, Lennon and McCartney, and they decided that they would formalise that agreement of both their names being on everything they did. This is the Beatles out and about in Liverpool. If you look at any papers from the 1960s, early 60s, like N&D or Melody Maker or Record Mirror or Disc, or any of the little glossy magazines that used to exist, you will see that photographs of recording artists would be them with a microphone in a photo studio somewhere, or them pretending to be on the phone to someone, or them holding up their record. The idea of actually going out on location, and especially an unglamorous location, is again an original idea. It actually wasn't the Beatles' idea, it was Brian Epstein saying to a photographer, Les Chadwick, go out and do something interesting. And this is them showing, yeah, we're from the north, we're from Liverpool, and this is us, this is our background.